This month we'll be turning a Christmas card into a box. So the card is, when it's folded, 4.75 by 7 inches, and then we've added some extra score lines on either side of the main fold line, 1/2 inch on either side. And then we've got a regular piece of cardstock. It's been cut to 10.5 by 8 inches, and it's been scored at 1 inch and again at 2 inches on all 4 sides. In addition to that, you're going to have these little half circles of Velcro, and you're going to need some glue and some scissors to start, and also a pencil. But we're just going to start with the scissors and the cardstock. And we're going to start by cutting in 2 squares, with the short end facing us. Just cut in 2 squares on each side. So there's in 2 squares on there and in 2 squares on there. This is with the short side facing you. And we're going to flip it around to the other short side and do the same thing. Just cut in 2 squares and in 2 squares on those lines right there. Now with the long side facing you, you're going to cut off the first 2 squares that are closest to you. And then we're going to cut between the 2 squares that are next one up. Yep, just like that. So long side facing you, cut off the first 2 squares and cut between the second 2 squares. And then we're going to flip it around to the other long side and do the same thing. So we're going to cut off the first 2 squares and cut between the second 2 squares. And when we're doing this, we're saving the 2 squares. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the 1 square we cut off, but the 2 squares that we cut off, we're saving those. Okay, short side facing us again, we're going to cut little triangles off each side of the 1 square that's still attached, just to turn it into a tab shape. Don't be too particular about cutting the exact same amount off of each one, exact same size triangle. Just make them into tab shapes. They're going to be hidden in the end, so it won't really matter exactly what they look like, but you just want them to be tab shaped. So when you're done with the cutting, it's going to look like this, and you're going to have 4 of those little 2 blocks left, but we only need 2 of those. So we're going to get rid of 2 and keep 2. And we're ready to start gluing. So with the long side facing, we're going to put a bunch of glue on those 2 long rectangles. We'll leave the tabs alone, but the 2 long rectangles we'll cover with glue. And then we'll fold them over onto themselves, just like that. That's going to be the side of our box, the long side of our box. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other long side. Just a bunch of glue on the 2 long rectangles, fold them over on themselves. Nothing on the tabs. Okay, on the short side, it's glue on the rectangles, but this time when we fold the rectangles over on themselves, we're going to catch the tabs in between them. So let's get the tabs ready. Fold up the 2 long sides of the box, and as we fold the short side over on itself, we're going to catch the tabs in there, and that is going to start to form our box. And then we're just going to do the same thing on the other short side. Glue on the rectangles, and when we fold them over on themselves, we'll be catching the tabs. All right, so now we're just going to glue the box we just made into the card. So we're just going to turn it over onto the bottom of the box, and we're going to put a whole bunch of glue on there. Okay, so I'm going to line up the left edge of the box with the rightmost score line in the card. And that's how I'm going to line up the left side of the box. The top and bottom, I'm just going to leave the same amount of card revealed at the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and center it top to bottom. But the left edge should match up with the rightmost score line in the card. So if I've lined it up correctly, the card should fold up around the box and match up nice and neat. I'm going to take one of those 2 boxes that we saved, and I'm going to put a bunch of glue on it and fold it in half. And glue it together like that, so it's double thick. And then I'm going to take that and fold it in half again. But no glue this time, just folding. And then I'm going to take one of the half circles. I'm going to take the soft half circle of Velcro, and I'm going to stick it onto the little tab I've just made right up against the fold line. So I've got my soft side of the Velcro, and I'm going to do right up against the fold line, just like that. With the hard side of the Velcro, I'm going to put the hard side of the Velcro up against the soft side, sticky side up. You can see it's shiny and sticky side up. And then I'm going to take my box and I'm going to kind of eyeball it and find the center along this edge. And I'm going to stick the hard Velcro, sticky part of the hard Velcro down up against the box, just like that. See how I've got the fold going along the edge of the box? And that's going to help me place my Velcro right where I want it. So there's the hard part of the Velcro stuck to the box, soft part stuck to my tab, and then I'm going to put my tab back on there so I can see where it meets up with the card. So I'm going to close my box and take my pencil and just mark on the top of the on the top part of the card there where that's meeting, where that tab is meeting. So I see I have a nice little pencil line that shows me right where I need to glue my tab on. I'll add some glue to my tab right here, and then I'm going to glue it to the card right where I marked it. So I'll get the glue on there, line it up with the marking, and glue it right down. The other 2-box piece of cardstock that we saved, we're going to add a bunch of glue to that all along the one side, and then we're going to put that over the tab and give it some reinforcement. That's just going to help reinforce our tab, make sure our tab stays stuck to our card. And that's what that's for. And that's our last step. Now our box is all done.